Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Big day here in Washington, where I am. And I have a frog in my throat from the Potomac River. That frog just jumped on me, and I'll get through it. So, big news nation, CW Network and Sirius Radio live show tonight. And it starts at 8 Eastern time. 3 Americans, Cuomo, Stephen A. Smith, O'Reilly. We have a big guest lineup. Tom Homan, Homeland Security guy. We got Manchin, former senator from West Virginia. We got a whole bunch of others. It's going to fly. And the reason that I put together the 3 American concept was because when I get together with Cuomo and Stephen A., they make me look smart. So that's why I did it. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to show you highlights, but I want you to watch it if you can tonight. It's again 8 Eastern time. And at 9 Eastern time, CNN is doing a town hall with the communists, Bernie Sanders, and AOC. So I look at this and I go, why? Why? It's going to be the oligarchy, the billionaires. Why? So I'm up against them tonight, and we'll win. But I'm going to CNN. Why would you bother with this? I could see putting me on with Bernie Sanders. Now, that'd be fun. But, and the CNN moderator is going to sit there and just let them say whatever they want. You know that. All right. Talking points memo. Let's get to reality. Today is a Charlie Kirk Medal of Freedom ceremony yesterday. So I was there as a reporter. I told you I was going to be there. I was not a participant. Okay. The difference is the participants were sitting up front, and they were there in an emotional capacity. I was not. I was there in a repertorial capacity. I was in the back. And some very interesting things happened. We'll tell you about some of them at the end of the program. But I was reporting on what was taking place because it was so unique. Medal of Freedom is not given out very much. And this terrible assassination of Mr. Kirk startled the whole country. And I think that President Trump is very compassionate to honor Mr. Kirk, even if you don't agree with him. Okay, and I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said. Nobody did. But to honor him on his birthday, in front of his wife and family members, and Trump had to come back from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, in a very strenuous flight to do that. He could have put this off to Friday, but he wanted to do it on his birthday. I just thought that was noble. I mean, it's just me, I guess. We're in the Rose Garden. It's brand new. It's nice. Okay. What I like was that all the presidential portraits are up. Even the guys that Trump doesn't like, on the side when you walk down to the Oval Office. And I like it. I think that's a good honor for the country, good tradition. Okay, so the ceremony ran a little bit more than an hour, and, as Mr. Trump does, he bloviated for a good time. Here's one of the highlights. Go.
As I said, on the day that he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth and for freedom. And from Socrates to think, and to St. Peter, from Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, those who change history the most, and he really did, have always risked their lives for causes they were put on earth to defend. He was put on earth to do exactly what he was doing. He didn't want to waste time.
Okay. Erika Kirk, the widow, was extremely eloquent. Woman is a gift. She's going to carry on Mr. Kirk's legacy. And Turning Point USA is now being run by her. So her speech was very, very emotional. Roll it.
But that never stopped me from telling him. I told him every single year, I said, baby, I love your birthday. I said, because it's the day that God knew the world couldn't go another day without you. And so the rhythm of our usual birthday celebration for him was mint ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream. He only had it twice a year, on his birthday and 4th of July. It's just, and then after that, it was back to work as usual. But last year, his one birthday wish was to see the Oregon Ducks play the Ohio State. And they won. Oregon won that night. And it was by far one of the most memorable nights of his birthday experience of his life until today. And so, honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have.
So very heartfelt. The crowd was all Republican, no Democratic politicians, a bunch of Republican congresspeople and senators, pundits from Fox News primarily. There wasn't any counter media or any kind of, the Democrats stayed away, just so you know. The press was respectful there, and the coverage of it was respectful. Except for MS Now. They just ignored it totally. And look, you know what that is. For me to bash that operation at this point, it's ridiculous. Everybody knows what it is. And they ignored it and all of that. Now, I have an extensive analysis about this Cardinal Dolan Ben Jealous controversy involving Charlie Kirk on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. And the reason I'm not doing it on the No Spin News is I need 12 minutes to put the context, because it's very complicated. Ben Jealous, former head of the NAACP, attacked Timothy Cardinal Dolan of New York City after the Cardinal said nice things about Charlie Kirk. So Jealous thinks Kirk is a racist and all that. To get into that kind of a volatile situation, I had to very precise, research, number one, which I have. And then I had to have sound bites to illustrate what actually happened. And we're talking about the death of an illegal migrant, who was killed by ICE. We're talking about affirmative action and former First Lady Michelle Obama and others, serious. So I didn't want to put it into a mix. I wanted to stand alone. I'm sorry if it's an inconvenience, but our YouTube channel is free. So all you got to do is go there. Again, it's youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. All right. And become a subscriber. It costs you nothing. And we do 2 or 3 of these a week. But I'm taking this very, very seriously. So that's why I did it that way. And that's the memo. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or place in a tax-advantaged gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty-free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of 5-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201, or text Bill to 65532. Okay, Gaza update. Now, this is a very interesting story. So the terrorists on the street of Gaza did not want this deal. All right, it was the higher-ups who are not getting the money and the arms they used to get from Iran anymore that made the deal with President Trump and Netanyahu of Israel. In response, after the hostages were released, the terrorists in Gaza began executing Palestinians, their own people, shooting them dead. All right? Because these are people who wanted the deal, who encouraged the deal. This sent a message to all people in Gaza and around the Middle East that you are going to be killed if you favor any kind of détente. These Hamas people, you are going to have to kill them. Trump knows it. And then people go, oh, why'd you make a deal? And you knew it. It was worth to get the 20 people out. And the hostage bodies, 8 bodies have been released. There's all controversy about that. I understand. I'm following it. I never thought for a second that the Hamas terrorists, the trigger men, would stop anything because they're crazy people. All right, they are. But to kill their own, to send a message, pretty gruesome. And they keep doing that. This thing is going to escalate again, but I'm praying it doesn't. Netanyahu, demanding that the whole deal be fulfilled, which is part of that deal is Hamas gives up its weapons. It'll never give up its weapons, ever. They'll say they did, and they'll hide them somewhere. You know what the game is. The one good thing is that 600 aid trucks, food trucks, are now in Gaza, I understand. All right, and they rolled through, the Israelis let them through. And whether it's the same thing where the Hamas people steal all the aid, which is what they've done in the past, I don't know. We got people over there. We're watching it firmly. So anyway, that's where we are on Gaza. Back home, LA County, largest county in the USA. So they have 3 million immigrants in Los Angeles County. 3 million. Big number, obviously. Many of them are undocumented. So the County Board of Supervisors votes 4-1 that they are going to declare a state of emergency, and they are going to, quote, proclamation gives the county the power to assist residents they say have been impacted financially by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE action. Okay, so they're going to give people money. Undocumented people. LA County, I don't know how much money they have. LA City is broke. But they're going to give people money and they're going to, shield them. It's a sanctuary place. And, but this is what you need to understand. And this is not just LA. The progressive wing doesn't want any immigration enforcement. They were behind the open border that Biden instituted for 4 years. The 15 million undocumented aliens who came in under that, all right, the progressives, that's what they wanted. And they don't want any immigration enforcement, none. So if you arrest even a heinous criminal, if you ICE agent, they oppose it. They don't want anybody searching for anybody. Need to understand that is the mentality here. Now they hide behind, well, nonviolent people are being rounded up. That is true. It is absolutely true. Because ICE agents can't adjudicate stuff on the street. How could they possibly do that? What they're looking for is people without credentials. They take them in, all right? They put them in a holding center, and then their cases are looked at. That's why people get rounded up who aren't criminals, migrants, and they have families and they're established because the ICE agents they don't have the power on the street to say who's a criminal, who isn't. They got to take them in. Well, the sanctuary places, the progressive places, they don't want any of that. that's essential for you to understand about this controversy. So in Chicago, there was another ICE raid to find undocumented people, and there was a car accident. Now, the ICE people say that the migrants involved used the car to batter the ICE people. This is what happens a lot. And there was a big kerfuffle, as they say. The federal vehicle was rammed, and then protesters magically appeared, more than 100 of them, to bother ICE. And then ICE started to fire tear gas into the crowd. Now, this helps President Trump. So the protesters think that they're helping the migrants. They're not. They're helping President Trump, because the more disorder the president can show the Supreme Court about enforcement of a valid federal law, the more the federal court is going, yeah, use the National Guard. You got to stop it. Can't have anarchy. That's the real irony. These progressives aren't smart enough to know what they're doing is hurting their own cause. So that happened in Chicago, and we expect more of the same. Now, if you don't believe me, there is a segment of progressive thought in Chicago that doesn't even want to stop the murders in the poor neighborhoods. Roll the tape.
There's not one gun shop in the city of Chicago, not one gun range in the city of Chicago. There's no African Americans that make ammunitions anywhere in the world. Let's stop these guns from coming into our streets. The city council and other people have acted responsibly. And we don't want to see the United States military on United States soil confronting its citizens with military equipment. We have police that can do their job. We just want a more cooperative environment with the president. There are programs that are working, and he needs to be respectful and talk with the local citizens on what they want to do.
That's just BS. Okay, it's BS. The drug gangs are heavily armed. Most of them are African Americans. 80% of the people murdered, 4,000 of them under Pritzker, the governor, are African American. They're dead in the street. And this has been going on for 6-7 years. And this guy comes out and says, oh, no, we have so you don't have any solution at all. You don't care. If I'm the mayor or the governor and I got 4,000 murdered people, and the federal government saying, look, I'm going to give you more protection to save the lives, I take it. Right? Don't you? Don't you take it? Not this guy. Representative Jonathan Jackson, congressperson. All right. Drug boats. Another one blown up. Fifth one. And so, as you know, the president declared the drug cartels in Mexico, Venezuela, other countries to be terrorists. And he's waxing them with the U.S. Navy and the Air Force and drones and all of that. Now, the progressives don't like it. Again, you get flooded with narcotics. 100,000 Americans a year die, and you don't want to stop it. However, here, the progressives have a point, because the Pentagon, the military, will not tell we the people, including me, your ombudsman, how they're arriving at the conclusion that these are drug boats. All they have to do is say, look, we had information from an informant that this was carrying this kind of cocaine or whatever it was carrying. And we feel it was valid, and that's what we did. Or even more specificity. This boat was part of this gang. We got the information. Boom. They don't do it. Why? Do it. Tell us what you're doing. Most Americans will support it. And then we go to the Pentagon. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War. So I got a couple of letters, and I know on social media, some MAGA people are going, that's right, Hegseth, right. Let's make all the press agencies that cover the Pentagon sign a paper that they will not report anything that happens in the Pentagon unless they get permission from Pete Hegseth. Are you kidding me? So let me make it real personal. In 1988, I was working for ABC News, and I was given very, very heavyweight assignments. One of them was the Bradley fighting vehicle, which was a big Pentagon expenditure. Remember, the Pentagon spends almost $1 trillion a year discretionary. That means they spend it on whatever they want. Almost $1 trillion. Bradley fighting vehicle, they were spending enormous money on. They were triple billing. There were corrupt people inside the Pentagon triple billing. That means they were paying 3 times as much to build that vehicle as they should have. I put it on the air. I got the story. It was an award winner, one of the most proud stories I've ever done. Didn't get anybody's permission to do it. Pentagon hated it. Hated it. Went after me and everything like that. So I know you have to do independent reporting, particularly when you have $1 trillion of discretionary spending. Hegseth doesn't want that. He wants everybody to, you don't do anything unless I sign off on it. No, it's not freedom of press. Now, Trump in the beginning said, I don't really like this. But he's changed now. Roll it.
I find that when it comes to war, and now our great Department of War, we have some great people over there, I think it bothers me to have soldiers and even, high-ranking generals walking around with you guys on their sleeve asking them, because they can make a mistake, and a mistake can be tragic. They can do it innocently, too. They can, and they're not press people. They don't really deal with the press, so they're not really necessarily good at it.
All right, so restrict access then. That's okay with me. If you want to say all the questions have to be asked and answered through an apparatus in the Pentagon, okay. I'm fine with that as a reporter. I'm also fine with lie detecting. So if you think your people are leaking national security stuff, put them on a polygraph. As long you have to do that with Pentagon employees, you can't do that with the press. You have no right to do that with the press. But Pentagon employees, you have a right to do that. I polygraph all day if I were Secretary of War. Send a message, you can't be leaking stuff because it could put our forces in danger. But this craziness, no. And it's not going to hold. It's Supreme Court or somebody going to come in and say you can't do it. Only one agency of all of the agencies, One America, the San Diego outfit, said it's okay with them. Nobody else, Fox News, Newsmax, nope. They all banded together, so we're not doing it. Ready for the flu season or not? Too many families wait until they're sick and rush to urgent care. Don't make that mistake. Be proactive. Start preparing now with All Family Pharmacy. They're different from the big chains. They don't push flu shots as the only answer. Instead, they believe in medical freedom, giving you access to real options. More than 200 medications are available, from daily prescriptions to advanced biohacking products. Every order includes a doctor's prescription. No insurance required. So stock up today on Tamiflu, antibiotics, antivirals, ivermectin, even flu kits and vitamins for immune support. Orders ship fast, and if you need it right away, overnight shipping is available. Please visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use the code BILL10 to save 10%. Don't wait. Get ahead of flu season now. Living on credit cards to cover daily expenses? Then you know those interest rates are brutal. Why pay 20% or more to the banks? Instead, call my friends at American Financing. With mortgage rates in the 5s, they can help you keep your hard-earned money right in your pocket and out of the hands of credit card companies. Right now, American Financing is helping homeowners save an average of $800 a month by using their home equity to wipe out high interest debt. There's no upfront fees, no obligation, just a 10-minute call to a salary-based mortgage consultant. Plus, if you start today, you could delay 2 mortgage payments. That's more cash in your hands right away. So don't wait. Call American Financing right now. 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net/bill. All right, final thought of the day. So there I am at the Charlie Kirk ceremony yesterday, and Jesse Waters wanders over, and I'm on very good terms with Waters. And then Glenn Beck wanders over, and then Tucker Carlson wanders over, Hannity wandered over. So we have all of these icons, all these Fox News icons together in one place, all right, in a little semicircle. So I'm going, this will never happen again. So I snap my fingers and I go, all right, you photographers, let's go. Boom. And they took a bunch of pictures. So this picture is zipped out on Instagram. It goes around the world in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm getting texts from all over the world. Instant, boom. Antarctica. I mean, it's incredible. The speed and the power of this Instagram and YouTube and all of this stuff. And, everybody, it's a fun picture because, number one, it'll never happen again. You're never going to get those 4 guys in the same. And the legacy there is people know what the legacy is, and some people don't like it. That's all right. We know we take cheap shots on social media, but so what? It got everybody together. We had a few laughs, and it wasn't a fun occasion. I mean, Charlie Kirk's assassination, even though he's being honored, I mean, it was a little, I wouldn't say it was somber, but it was respectful. But, there was a lot of back and forth and about, ribbing each other. And it was a good-natured thing. It will never happen again. So if you didn't see the picture, it's everywhere. They flag it up, download it, throw darts at it, whatever you want. All right, that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you very much for watching. New column on Sunday. Special tomorrow on the 3 Americans right here. And we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.